Okay, so imagine this. You're strong, like really strong. You've got tons of energy and you're super flexible.
Yeah.
That's kind of the magic of like a balanced fitness routine, right?
Right.
One that blends strength, endurance, and mobility.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today, this source on building a balanced fitness plan. You know, it's not just about lifting a ton of weight or running a marathon.
Absolutely.
It's about creating a body that can handle, whatever life throws at you.
Exactly. A body that's adaptable, resilient, ready for anything.
So before we jump in, like what exactly are strength, endurance, and mobility?
Yeah.
Just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Sure.
Strength is pretty straightforward, right? It's about building muscle, getting powerful.
Yeah, it's that raw power, being able to lift heavy things, move your own body weight.
And endurance.
Endurance is your staying power.
Yeah.
How long can you go? Think cardio, running, biking, swimming. It's about your heart and lungs.
And then there's mobility.
This is where we get into that nice fluid movement. Flexibility, range of motion, being able to move freely without pain or restriction.
So how do these all work together? Like how does being strong actually make you a better runner?
Well, think about it. Strong muscles, especially in your core and legs, help you maintain proper running form.
Ah,
So
yeah.
each stride is more efficient. You're not wasting energy.
I see.
And that means you can run longer, faster before you hit that wall.
So it's not just about like brute force. It's about strength that translates into like smooth, efficient movement.
Exactly. And it goes the other way too. Good mobility, that flexibility and range of motion, it actually helps you lift weights better.
Oh, interesting.
You can lift heavier, and more importantly, you're less likely to get injured.
So where does endurance fit into all of this?
Endurance is crucial for recovery. The better your cardiovascular health, the faster your body bounces back after those tough workouts. Your muscles get the oxygen and nutrients they need to repair and rebuild.
I never thought about it like that. So for our listeners out there, I'm curious. Think about your own routine. Do you see any areas where you could improve this balance?
Yeah.
Are you like all about the weights but never stretch?
Yeah.
Or maybe you're a cardio junkie who skips strength training.
It happens. We all have our tendencies.
Right.
And that's what this deep dive is all about.
Yeah.
Finding that sweet spot where everything works together.
Now, this source we're looking at, it has a sample weekly plan that seems to really embody this whole balanced approach. And one thing that stands out to me is how it alternates between, those focused workout days and recovery days.
Yeah, that's super important.
Like rest isn't just a luxury.
It's essential. Recovery is how you avoid burnout and actually make progress over time.
And there's one day on this plan that really caught my eye. It's called Mobility-Focused Strength Day.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
It really shows how those two elements, strength and mobility, they can blend together seamlessly.
It's like they're not even separate things. It's all connected.
Right.
The plan even has some pretty interesting exercises like single leg Romanian deadlifts
Oh, yeah.
and farmer's carries. I bet some of our listeners are like, what are those?
Probably.
So break it down for us. What are those all about?
Okay, so a single leg Romanian deadlift. That works your hamstrings, your glutes.
Okay.
But it also challenges your balance.
Ah, right.
It's about building strength you can actually use in everyday life.
Functional strength.
Exactly.
And what about farmer's carries?
They're so simple, but so effective. You're just walking, but you're holding heavy weights in each hand. It works your grip, your core, your shoulders. You even get a little cardio in there.
It's like a full body workout disguised as a chore.
Right.
I like that. Now, this sample plan is awesome, but what if someone's training for something specific, like a marathon? Can they still use this approach?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
It's all about adapting the principles. So if endurance is your main goal, you'd naturally focus more on cardio, maybe add some extra running sessions, while keeping the strength training a bit lighter, focusing on exercises that support good running form.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. It's about understanding the basics and then customizing it, right?
Exactly. But no matter what your goals are, you always want to make sure you're incorporating some mobility work into your routine. It's like preventative maintenance for your body.
It's about building a body that's going to last,
That's the goal.
a body that's capable and adaptable.
And resilient.
Now, I know I get bored easily.
Yeah.
How do we keep things fresh and challenging so we don't, hit that plateau?
Variety.
Okay.
You got to switch things up.
Right.
Try different strength exercises, different types of cardio, explore new mobility routines.
It's like cross-training for all aspects of fitness.
Exactly.
It's not just about variety, though, right?
Right. It's also about gradually pushing yourself a little bit further each week. Can you lift a little heavier, run a little farther, hold that stretch a little longer?
But, listening to your body.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want to push to the point of injury.
Right.
Rest and recovery are non-negotiable.
Okay, so we've talked about the benefits, the sample plan, how to adjust it.
Yeah.
But what about some of the challenges that come with actually putting this into practice?
Like what?
Like, not everyone has hours to spend at the gym. So how do we make this work in the real world?
Well, you can actually combine all three elements, strength, endurance, mobility, into a single workout.
Really? Okay.
It's all about maximizing your time.
Could you give me an example? Like, what would that look like?
Sure. Let's say you have 30 minutes. You could start with some dynamic stretching to warm up.
Okay.
Then maybe a quick strength training circuit, squats, push-ups, lunges, things like that.
So you're already hitting strength and mobility.
Exactly. Then maybe 5 minutes of high-intensity cardio, jumping jacks, burpees, something to get your heart rate up.
I can feel the burn already.
And then finish up with some static stretching to cool down. Boom, balanced workout under 30 minutes.
That's pretty efficient. Okay, so what about overtraining? I think a lot of people worry about pushing themselves too hard, especially when they're first starting out.
That's why those rest days are so crucial.
Yeah.
It's not just about sitting on the couch, though. Recovery is about actively allowing your body to repair and rebuild.
So foam rolling, gentle stretching, getting enough sleep, it's all part of the equation.
And it's all connected. It's all part of that balanced approach.
Okay. Now, what about imbalances? Some people are naturally flexible but lack strength. Others are cardio machines but have tight hamstrings.
Right. You got to be honest with yourself, figure out your weak points.
Right.
And then focus on bringing those areas up to par.
So if flexibility is your issue, you dedicate more time to stretching and mobility work. If strength is lagging behind, you prioritize lifting weights.
Exactly.
It's all about personalizing it, right?
It is. It's about becoming the architect of your own fitness journey.
And that sounds pretty empowering, actually.
It is empowering. You're not just following someone else's rules. You're taking control of your own health and well-being.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on, I want to circle back to the core message here.
Yeah.
Why is this balance so important? Why bother with all three elements?
It's about more than just looking good or checking boxes on a fitness to-do list. It's about creating a body that's truly capable.
A body that can move effortlessly, power through challenges, and recover quickly, so you can keep doing the things you love.
Exactly. And you're setting yourself up for long-term health and well-being, not just short-term gains.
And there's that feeling, of feeling truly embodied, moving through the world with confidence. That's pretty awesome, too.
It's transformative.
It really is. All right, so we're back. And I'm ready to get into, the nitty-gritty. How do we actually make this balanced fitness thing happen?
Let's do it.
All right, so we talked about strength training earlier. Those big compound movements like squats, deadlifts, bench presses. Why are those so important?
Those are your foundation. They work multiple muscle groups at the same time.
So you're getting more bang for your buck, basically.
Exactly. It's efficient. You're building a solid base of strength.
Okay, and then there are those, what did you call them? Functional movements?
Yeah, like Turkish get-ups, farmer's carries.
Those sound kind of intimidating. What makes them so special?
They mimic movements you use in everyday life.
Oh, interesting.
So like a Turkish get-up, you're going from lying down to standing up, all while holding a weight overhead.
Whoa.
It's a whole body exercise.
So it's not just about how much you can lift, it's about how you move.
Right. And farmer's carries, you're just walking while holding weights.
Don't easy enough.
But it builds grip strength, core stability, shoulder strength.
Oh, wow. So it's not as easy as it looks.
Nope.
Okay, so let's move on to endurance. Running, cycling, swimming. There are so many options. Where do we even begin?
Find something you enjoy.
Okay, that makes sense.
And something that fits your lifestyle.
Right.
You don't have to run a marathon to be healthy. Even brisk walking can make a huge difference.
I think a lot of people get overwhelmed by the idea of endurance training. Any tips for those of us who are just starting out?
Start slow. Listen to your body. Maybe start with a 20-minute walk a few times a week.
Okay.
And then gradually increase the time or the intensity as you get stronger.
So no need to go all out right away.
Exactly.
All right, now let's talk about mobility. unlocking that freedom of movement. You mentioned dynamic stretching earlier. What's that all about?
Dynamic stretching is about moving your joints through their full range of motion.
So like arm circles, leg swings,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Things that get your blood flowing and prep your muscles for activity.
It's not just about touching your toes and holding it. Okay, so after the workout, we do static stretches, right?
It's like,
Holding those poses for like 20 to 30 seconds.
yep, helps improve flexibility, reduce soreness.
And what about foam rolling?
Foam rolling is great. It's like a self-massage.
Oh, okay.
It helps release those tight spots, improves circulation.
Now, we talked about combining all three elements into one workout
Right.
for those days when you're short on time. But how does that actually work?
Okay, so let's say you have 30 minutes.
Okay.
You could start with 5 minutes of dynamic stretching.
Right.
Then maybe a 15-minute strength training circuit, squats, push-ups, lunges, things like that.
We're already hitting strength and mobility.
Right. Then maybe 5 minutes of high-intensity cardio, jumping jacks, burpees, something like that.
Okay.
And finish up with 5 minutes of static stretching to cool down.
So you've covered all three pillars in 30 minutes.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to feel overwhelmed by all of this information. Like, where do you even start?
Just pick one thing. One small change to your routine. Maybe add some stretching. Try a new strength training exercise.
Yeah, baby
Yeah,
steps.
exactly. It's about building momentum.
And consistency, right?
Yes. The more you do it, the easier it becomes.
And I bet it feels good to see those results.
It does. It's about celebrating those small victories.
Yeah, and remembering that it's not about being perfect.
Yeah, it's about progress, not perfection.
It's about finding what works for you.
Exactly. Fitness should be fun.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about the physical benefits, but what about the mental and emotional side of things? Like, how does balanced fitness affect our mood, our overall well-being? That's what I really want to dive into next.
Okay, so we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into balanced fitness. We've covered a lot, the synergy between strength, endurance, mobility, practical tips for, creating a good routine. But there's one piece we haven't really touched on yet.
The mental and emotional side of things.
Exactly. How does this whole balanced fitness approach affect us, beyond the physical stuff? Well, exercise is a proven stress reliever, right? When you move your body, you release endorphins.
Those feel-good chemicals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you get a natural mood boost. Whether you're lifting weights or going for a run, it's like instant happiness.
Like a natural mood regulator.
Right.
I like that. So beyond those immediate mood boosts, what about the long-term effects?
Oh, there are tons.
Yeah.
Studies show that exercise can improve sleep,
Ah, okay.
reduce anxiety, even help with depression, and it can even make you think more clearly.
Wow. So it's good for your body and your brain.
Exactly. It's like a total well-being package.
Okay, and what about, that feeling you get when you achieve a fitness goal?
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Like that sense of accomplishment.
It does wonders for your self-confidence.
Mhm.
And that confidence spills over into other areas of your life, your work, your relationships, everything.
So it's like a ripple effect.
It is. Now, speaking of feeling good, our source actually mentions a little reward for listeners.
Oh, I like rewards. What is it?
The challenge is to design one workout this week. Just one.
Great.
That includes all three elements: strength, endurance, and mobility. It doesn't have to be fancy. It could be as simple as some squats, some jumping jacks, and a few stretches.
So it's about actually experiencing that synergy, right?
Exactly. Feeling how those elements work together.
And then paying attention to how you feel.
Yeah. Do you feel energized,
Right.
stronger, more flexible?
It's about tuning into your body.
Right. Noticing how those small changes, even if you can't see them in the mirror, they make a difference.
I like that. Okay, so before we wrap up, I have one final question for you.
Okay.
We've been talking about balance in terms of fitness, but how can we apply this concept to other areas of our lives?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like work-life balance, for example.
Exactly. Are you pushing yourself too hard at work and not taking enough breaks?
Are you always on your phone, neglecting those face-to-face interactions?
It's about finding that equilibrium.
Making sure all the important things get the attention they deserve.
Exactly. It's about creating a life that's not just healthy, but fulfilling.
And just like with fitness, it's not about being perfect.
Right. It's a constant balancing act.
Some days you're going to be better at it than others.
The key is to be mindful, to make choices that support your well-being.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into balanced fitness, I hope everyone listening feels inspired to, take these principles and apply them to their own lives.
Create a life that's strong, resilient, and full of joy.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. And until next time, keep exploring, keep challenging yourselves, and keep striving for that balance in all areas of your life.
Absolutely.